AutoLine Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
Here are today's top headlines. GM gets ready to drop the Daewoo brand. German environmentalists come out against electric cars. And what in the world is going on with Ford stock? Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is AutoLine Daily for Thursday, April 29, 2010, and now the news. Next year, the Chevrolet brand will be introduced in South Korea. GM Daewoo President and CEO Mike Archimone made the announcement yesterday, but any of you who watched our live webcast from the Detroit Auto Show way back in January already knew that. You can check out my interview with Mike Archimone on the Johns Journal page of our website, AutoLineDetroit.tv, or just follow the link in today's transcript. The reason the Chevy brand will be used in Korea now is that something like 90% of Daewoo's production is exported, and those cars are already branded as Chevys. Plus, the Daewoo brand is pretty much only used in South Korea, and it's not very well regarded there. According to GM's market research, half of all Koreans are familiar with Chevy. More than 80% of them recognize the bow tie logo, and they see it as a more prestigious brand than Daewoo. Here's a seemingly paradoxical story, courtesy of Bloomberg. Most American environmentalists are gung-ho for electric vehicles, but a group of greenies in Germany are opposed to them. The Berlin-based eco-organization Deutsche Umwelthilfe says that government incentives for electric vehicles will plunder government treasuries and that EVs do little to curb pollution since so much power is generated by burning coal and natural gas. The group says automakers should focus on improving fuel efficiency and lowering carbon emissions for conventional internal combustion engines instead of building electrics. The group also advocates using taxpayer money to fund public transport instead of EVs. What in the world is going on with Ford stock? On Tuesday, the company announced its financial earnings blowing through Wall Street expectations. Usually, an upside surprise drives up the price of a stock, and yet the price of Ford stock went down. According to the Detroit News, some analysts believe that Ford's earnings did not meet expectations. Others believe that Ford's performance is not sustainable. I say those analysts don't know what they're talking about. Here's my AutoLine insight. I believe the UAW's VEBA Trust Fund took advantage of Ford's earning report to dump a bunch of shares. Ford gave the UAW stock warrants instead of cash to pay for retiree health care. So the union needs to sell those stock warrants, and I believe that's exactly what it's doing. In the period leading up to Ford's announcement, the volume of trading was roughly 100 million shares a day. Then, on the day of the announcement, it suddenly skyrocketed to almost 300 million shares. With so many shares being dumped, the price went down despite the fact that Ford surprised everyone with its financial performance. Full disclosure here, I own a modest amount of Ford stock. An effort is underway to have stricter penalties for companies that counterfeit auto parts. According to Wards, the U.S., the European Union, and Japan are negotiating rules that would better police counterfeiting around the globe. This is a huge problem for the industry. The global market for counterfeit parts is estimated at $16 billion and will grow around 10% every year. And China is the worst offender by far. The country's responsible for about $9 billion of the $12 billion in estimated losses due to counterfeiting. And it's estimated that over half the vehicles in China have counterfeit parts. Finnish biofuel producer Neste Oil is set to begin trials of its diesel fuel produced from 100% renewable raw materials with no fossil fuels. Employees of the company and a few select individuals will test the fuel in Finland from now until the end of the summer. Greenhouse gas emissions with its renewable diesel are 40 to 80% lower than conventional diesel. Neste produces its diesel from vegetable oil and waste animal fat using a proprietary hydrogenization technology. When the car market collapsed last year, automakers slashed their production. Maybe they cut it too much. BMW is complaining that it could sell more cars if it could get them right now. So what does Mercedes say? That is coming up next.
Introducing Bridgestone's third generation of run-flat tires with groundbreaking new Bridgestone technologies. Bridgestone run-flat tires offer improved ride comfort, lower rolling resistance, and improved wear while giving you the peace of mind and comfort you need.
Mercedes is running with twice as much car inventory right now than BMW. It's not that Mercedes has too much, it's that BMW has too little. Chip Drake from Autoline Daily just caught up with Ernst Lieb, the head of Mercedes-Benz USA, and asked him about their inventory level and if they could use that as a competitive advantage.
We're right now running, I would say, an ideal number. That's the way we look at it. I'm just coming out of a dealer meeting in Atlanta last week where we had over 90% of our dealers, and we discussed that. We show all the time, twice a year when we have these meetings, we show them the level of inventory, we show them the production. The market has shown quite a bit of strength, not ideal, but quite a bit of strength in the first 3 months. If you do not have the inventory right now to satisfy these market needs, you will lose sales. And we believe we are perfectly positioned in that respect. We still have some imbalances with some models. We could take a few more here, a few more there, but overall we're quite happy with it. The other phenomena you have to be careful is the American consumer wants to buy a car when he comes in. He doesn't want to wait. In Europe, they accept waiting times 3-6 months with their color, with their options. We need the car on the lot. So we have an extreme high number of dealer trades where the dealer is looking for the white car for his customer and trades the red one for it. And what we need to do for that, to satisfy this demand, is that we always will run higher inventories than some of our domestic or Japanese colleagues. They have simplified lineups. They have maybe a little bit less demanding customers. So we have a bit of a challenge there, which we counter with maybe a little bit more inventory. But right now, I would say we're pretty well positioned.
That was Ernst Lieb, the head of Mercedes-Benz USA. Hey, don't forget to tune into Autoline After Hours tonight when our guest will be Nina Beckhart, who's an expert in naming products, including coming up with the names of new cars. Join me, the auto extremist Peter DeLorenzo, and Bloomberg's David Welch tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's it for today's top news in the global automotive industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.